Now, when you look at the box, you might think Truth or Lies might be a more adult-themed game, with questions that might make couples a little embarrassed to answer the questions. Kind of like We Dare, but since that isn't coming out for the American Wiis, I had to settle for this. Well, that's at least what I thought it was when I bought it. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a shell of what you might think it even might be. This title can either be sold with or without the microphone. The sound that came out of it was okay, and it's compatible with other Wii games that support microphones. Now, there really isn't that much to talk about this title. It has two modes, the regular game mode and the hot seat. The regular game just has you and other players answering the computer's questions, 3 per person per round. You choose how many rounds you want to do in the beginning by determining how long you want the game to last. In the regular game, you can pass on a question 3 times per person. The questions were usually pretty inane questions that were normally very pointless. I never really found anything juicy, not even if you play the adult mode. The adult mode just had some adult-themed questions.
Let's get things started with question number 1. Snaps. Among those in the room now, with whom would you most like to discuss Tolstoy's writing over a glass of port?
I don't want to answer that question because it's stupid. Nobody's going to buy this title with the lame questions in the main game. Do you know why, publishers? Because they're boring. But the main problem with this title has to be the core gameplay, the lie detector. They have you calibrate the lie detector by telling truths and lies, so it can kind of tell the difference. But it doesn't really work reliably. When it's checking your voice, it just doesn't accurately read your voice correctly most of the time. Oftentimes when I lied, it would say I was telling the truth, and vice versa as well. Hey publishers, if you can't get your lying detecting gimmick to work, don't release the game! Plus, the scoring system just made no sense. I think it gives you points on how much it likes your answer, good or bad. And that seems so arbitrary. Why is one answer better than another? How can you really judge a truthful answer? I think the publishers even knew they were making a bad game, because they didn't expand on the party mode at all. It's played out like this. Computer asks a question, we see if it's a lie, they shell out the points to the person who gave the answer, and the next person plays. There is no interactivity with the other players at all. Here's an idea for Truth and Lies 2, God forbid. When someone is answering a question, have the other players guess if it's going to be a lie or not. You know, have them bet their points. It's better than just sitting around waiting for the other person to finish. Or how about categories for the questions, and making the other players pick the category for you. There were so many ways they could have made this an actual game. The other way to play this title is in the hot seat mode, and it's a very simple mode. You ask a question, and then the game will read your voice presumably, and will tell you if it's a lie or not. It was nice that they gave you the freedom to ask your own question, but the lack of any depth to this or any of the other modes will make this a very boring game to play. Truth or Lies is dull. It takes an interesting idea of a lie detecting game and completely blows it by making the game boring to play, and pretty much makes it so nobody wants to play this at a party. And that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the title. However, the microphone seems to work well, and it is compatible with other Wii games. I've seen this title go for around $10, and that's not a bad price for a microphone. So if you're in the need for a microphone for your Wii, you might want to pick up this title for that price. But if you're going to do this, remember, chuck the game in the trash and keep the microphone.
And the least truthful answer of this round was...
I think I'd probably skip, because skipping's fun, because you can go la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.